Hey guys, and welcome to Nintenduary, a month where we look at a different Nintendo 64 game every single day for the entire month. Today, we're looking at Pilotwings 64. So remember yesterday how I said that for some reason my Nintendo 64 didn't come with Super Mario 64? My N64 did not come with Super Mario 64. Instead, I got Pilotwings. Well, I guess it's because my console came with Pilotwings 64 instead, but looking back at this game, I remember I had a pretty good time with it. I think my brother liked the game more than me, and maybe it was because I was too young to fully understand the mechanics, but how does this game hold up today? Let's get into it. Okay, so it's clear that this game served as kind of a demo to show off the technical capabilities that the Nintendo 64 had, and this game is actually pretty beautiful to look at. I feel like Nintendo had so much fun making worlds in the games that they were developing on the Nintendo 64 that they wanted to just give players the freedom to explore and kind of feel that same feeling with a little bit more restraint, of course, and it kind of works here. Most of the time you are in some sort of aircraft and fly around on different levels, fly through rings, and while it sounds basic, it works pretty well. Sure, they could have had a lot of action-y stuff going on, like explosions, but I think it would have taken away from the overall tranquility that this game has. Mind you, for 2 months, this and Super Mario 64 were the only games on the console, so having a game like Pilotwings really offered a different style of gameplay from what Mario 64 had to offer. Now, just because the focus of the game is flying around, doesn't mean that the game's easy. Sure, some of the early levels might be simple enough, but it gets pretty challenging pretty quickly, and not in, I hate this game, but more in an addicting level of gameplay. The variety of vehicles are nice, and there is even a wingsuit, so you can just kind of fly around and explore levels kind of however you please without any real challenge. And you can also find some really cool Easter eggs, like Mario on Mount Rushmore, which changes into Wario. And the other levels look pretty good too, whether it's a snow level, a town, or a vacation island. There's always variety in scenery and vehicles, which stops the game from getting too repetitive. I found myself often just exploring levels like this America level that has the major cities and landmarks in it, and it's a really cool idea that I was able to fly from Seattle to New York, and the game uses a challenge system to unlock new features and levels, and sometimes when you're trying to get a high score, it can be really difficult, and honestly the game is pretty harsh with its scoring technique, but when you finally get it, it does feel really good to pull off some sort of really difficult challenge that you might have been struggling on. And sometimes pulling off some maneuvers can be really hard, but they never seem fully impossible. And watching your pilot scream as he crashes to his death is actually kind of entertaining to watch, or at least somewhat funny. The strongest part of this game by far is its outstanding soundtrack. Contrasting Mario's over-the-top music that mirrors its level, this game has some really relaxing music that perfectly fits the gameplay style. Sure, this game is pretty straightforward with what it has to offer and doesn't provide an experience where players are going to spend hundreds of hours on, but it's a pretty fun game when you're looking for something different and more relaxing to play. But at the same time, I can see how someone who really likes action games and FPS games and platformer games might not find the same charm in this game that I was able to find in this experience, as I'd like to call it. I mean, this is kind of one of the first flying simulation games that really puts you behind the wheel of an actual helicopter or jetpack or whatever you're flying, and it's somewhat realistic and it's kind of cool. If you're looking to bulk up your collection and you like games that don't always need a ton of focus, this one might just be for you. But that's all for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to Rocket Sloth so you can see our next episode of Nintenduary, which is going up tomorrow, along with each new episode coming out every single day this month. Tomorrow, Luke is taking a look at Mario Kart 64, which is a staple game in everyone's collection, so make sure you guys tune back here tomorrow to check that video out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Bye, guys.